Hey, this is Mark Rodriguez.
And this is Wendy, also known as Jupi Chan or Ninja Jupi. Hi guys.
And you're watching the review Sanctum where everything and anything will be reviewed. This one's kind of been a long time coming. We've just been kind of busy. We're finally going to review the, up to the moment, latest book in the Rippaverse, Alphacore. And yes, we do know that Yaira is coming out very, very soon. So let's go into Alphacore before we get into that one. So we're going to give a bit of a sort of plot synopsis, then we're going to go into our thoughts and the characters and stuff like that. So right off the bat, we have this guy having a droid gunpoint, and you know, our hero Bryan Solaris, which is one of the members of Alphacore, swoops in to save the day and everything. Now the thing is, the guy was threatening to blow everyone up with a bomb, but I guess it was supposed to be like a fake bomb or something, because when Bryan took it off and threw it away, you know, to a safe area, they blew up.
Yeah.
And even the guy was surprised that I guess the bomb was a real bomb. You know what I mean? So,
this guy's name, by the way, is Moreno. He was
like the bomb guy.
Yeah.
The crazy guy. And this all happened in front of a bank, which is kind of it becomes important as you go on. So, anyways, Alphacore is a team of, like, I guess superhero cops or accept cops in this case, because in Rippaverse, people with superpowers are called accepts. And the way it works is they have a very strict thing where they're only supposed to help in cases that involve accepts. So Bryan is getting chewed out by like the police chief or whatever because he just got in there in a regular crime. Because this is, regular guy with a gun, he didn't have powers or nothing, so they're doing that. And this other guy on the TV, if you can get his name real quick, was
the lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the lawyer guy. Let me see. Was it oh yeah, that Ridley Venison?
Yeah.
Venison?
Yeah, Ridley Venison is on TV. It's weird. He's like a lawyer, but he's also on TV or something. But anyways, he's talking crap about them and all that. Like, hey, if these guys can just fly around wherever they want without, obeying our laws, how safe are we? He's trying to kind of raise drama and stuff like that. So,
and also, something else mentioned about the whole Alphacore thing. Like, as Mark said, they're only called when they have to deal with other accepts. But here's the thing, they can't really do anything by like going rogue and doing things. They can only go when they're actually contacted to help. But outside of that, they should not be doing anything. It's just sit back and chill.
Yeah. And we'll let you know more into the character personalities a little bit there. So we find out there's these other mysterious bad guys, Michael and Lillian, that were kind of watching the event in the news because, the news came out with what Bryan did and all that stuff. So the whole thing was that Michael's plan was that he had some like illegal, like embezzled funds or something in that bank. And his original plan was to have the crazy bomb guy blow up the bank and stuff, and then like the evidence would be gone. But of course this happened, so now other things have to take place. So he does enlist other supervillains. There's an electric supervillain named Galvin, and even though I guess we could say he fails in his first attempt, he's still in the story anyways. So he also hires another accept named Billy Bob Quinn, who can turn into like a big fiery, thing kind of character. And finally, Lillian was losing faith in Michael, so she hired another guy that has like this, I guess it's kind of like hypnotic, but it's kind of like he just, like whatever he talks, people just obey. So he's not doing like whatever. He's just talking,
it's like
power of persuasion.
Yeah, like very, I guess, a charismatic way of, it's like the power of manipulation.
Yeah.
On the infinite level.
Yeah. So of course with all this stuff we got, Alphacore stopping these guys and just action here and there. And we won't spoil too much near the end, but there is a major plan where Lillian actually has a plan not just to cover up the funds that Michael's trying to do. She has a plan to like flat out take out Alphacore altogether, and that's like the big climax of the story.
Yeah.
We'll go into there. So I'll just give just quick characters of the three main characters here, and we can go into thoughts and everything. Okay. So Bryan Solaris is the main character. He's, I guess, typical Superman type dude because he can fly, has a cape, he's bulletproof, but he's not like super duper strong. He can still get beat up by some of the other characters. He's not invincible or anything. But he also feels that he should help out for the greater good and all that good stuff. So he doesn't quite get that, there's a crime happening, I got powers, how can I just ignore it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's not supposed to because it raises political drama if he does get involved in an incident that that doesn't have any accepts involved.
And also, if I remember right, Bryan used to be like former military or something.
Yeah, it's former military.
Yeah, so that's probably another reason why he has that instinct to want to jump in and help because he was part of the military.
Yes. So then we have Ingrid Valdez. She's, I guess, the newest member that was added. She's a woman. She has electric whips, and she's the only character that can't fly, so she has to like rely on other transportation and everything. And she gets a lot on Bryan's case because the thing is, with all this drama and stuff going on, like, I guess they have a risk of the program being shut down. The Alphacore program can lose their funding and be shut down. So she's the one that mostly gets in his face. What do you think you're doing? Blah, blah, blah. Look at the TV. Look at the news. This is your fault. You know, that kind of stuff. So she has a bit of a temper about that. And then finally we got Braxwell, who is just a random dude, you know, black dude with a visor and doesn't talk much. Well, he can fly, and he also has super strength and stuff, but he's just
I'm sorry, he's just so in the background. I kind of forgot about him till you mentioned him, because Ingrid and Bryan are the two that stand out.
Yeah, because
they bicker quite a bit. You know, like when they were, that one little part they were bickering or fussing, you know, like when you just said he was like, oh, you're walking around in a cape and you're flying around, you could get us shut, you know, all that stuff. He said, you know what, let's all just walk away, take a breather, let's chill, you know, let's get our tempers down, you know.
Yeah. So Braxwell's a man of few words. He's more the man of action. There's a scene where he's actually called in because the others were busy. He was called in to take care of Galvin, and he literally just comes in, takes out Galvin, and goes. You know, and the cop's like, hey, thanks for the help. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was the one to take out Galvin, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't Galvin black his tongue again?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's kind of the character rundown. So what are your general thoughts, Jupes, on the story and everything?
Well, I thought the story was alright for the most part. You know, just seeing how, you know, you have these superheroes, like you said, they're X-Ups, and how you have some that are, I guess you could say, the bad X-Ups, and then you have, like, your others that are fighting for the, you know, for helping the city out. And I guess otherwise they wouldn't be able to do as much if they weren't working for the, for Alphacore's project there. Mm-hmm. But my question is, what would happen if all of the X-Ups that they go against just happen to just be completely gone? You know what I mean? Because if they can't, if that's the only reason they go out, what if their town just run out of X-Ups? You know?
Man, I guess it'd just be shut down or under retirement or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like then what would they do for a living? Even though Ingrid probably would be good as a, you know, a cop and a detective.
Yeah, Ingrid's more of the regular policewoman that's been brought aboard. And one of the things in the story also is that there's one of the regular cops that gets involved in the case to help out, and I guess he's a bit, she's a superhero, she could have a, you know, some kind of superhero mobile or whatever, and Ingrid takes exception to that because she doesn't want to be looked at as some kind of, like, superhero freak or whatever.
She wants to be treated like as if she were, a regular, you know, like just like anybody else that would be, you know, working in the police department.
Yeah.
And that's something I liked about Ingrid's character and her electric whips.
Yeah. So basically it's kind of like that. Bryan has like the military background, and Ingrid's more of a policewoman detective, and Braxwell's kind of like, just point me in the direction and I'll go. You know, point me where it is and get the fuck out of my way, even though he won't talk and everything. And
you know, I will say that Michael and Lillian, their characters, now Michael just seems very too, what's the word? Like
laid back or
too hands off to me. And I kind of like Lillian's approach to things. Like, say, okay, let me get this straight. You are not the only one involved in this scheme. If you go down, I go down. So I do like the fact that Lillian did become, get all proactive, but then there's something interesting about her too. Yeah. With her situation there. I don't know if you want to mention it.
We'll leave something for you guys to find out. But one thing that is interesting about them in particular is that back when the Rippaverse started in ISO number 1, there was a scene in the nightclub in in Fontano's nightclub, where you saw these characters with their powers and stuff, and it was them. It was Michael and Lillian, like just chilling in the club and just discussing, their mysterious plans. Which of course now we kind of get an idea of what some of the plans they are and everything. But yeah, that's pretty interesting how they have these little clues, little lead-ins and stuff like that. And also Alphacore has some other people there. There's a guy named Ray who's kind of like, I guess he's like the real leader, even though he's a regular guy. but he's
Yeah.
the guy that, you know, keeps their head straight and everything.
And he's the one that usually, you know, like, I guess received the call to say, yo, send one of those accept freaks of yours to come help us out, you know?
Yeah. And then one person, the other one, I want to say her name is Sal or Sally, but I'm not 100% sure. She's like the woman that does all the, you know, looking at all the screens and the computer stuff and
Oh,
everything.
that lady. Okay, one thing I will say is a negative with this is that there are just too many characters with names to remember for my liking. I mean, I guess it was nice if you have like just your main set of characters and just maybe a small set of characters, but it was like so many, it was so hard to remember them all for me personally. But who knows? Maybe for you guys it'll be a little easier. Yeah, so the name, as we mentioned, the lawyer's name is that was it Ridley Vanison?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Vanison. Yeah, now the issue with him is that, like, as mentioned, he was going on the news media outlets talking badly about Alphacore, talking badly about the excepts, saying like we can't trust them and all that other stuff. It kind of reminded me of Batman versus Superman, but not the movie. But I had that there for a reason. Batman versus Superman because of, you know, can we trust Superman? You know, that type of thing. So that's kind of like where I think Vanison was going. But the thing you find out later is that the guy that had the bomb, that also was a plant by Michael, was, well, it was like a kind of a plant by Michael to create that diversion, you know, to blow up the bank. There was, well, they didn't know, and of course he got arrested for the bomb attempt. And you see they got him a lawyer because, you know, he couldn't afford one, you know, all that stuff. And it turns out it was this Venison guy. And he talked to him, you know, he's like, you know, don't tell anybody about this, you know, but, you know, the confidentiality between client and the lawyer and the attorney. And then you find out that this lawyer was sent to represent him by
Michael.
Yeah.
And he's also Galvin's lawyer.
Yeah, Galvin, the electricity guy's lawyer, who is an except. So it's kind of interesting how that plays out, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't want to, you know, get into the spoilers for that, but I thought that little twist was kind of, you know, was a little cool there, especially, you know, with Moreno later and then Galvin later in the issue. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. Now, I wanted to look something up here while you're talking about the lady that worked at Alphacore with him.
Oh yeah, I was looking up her name. Her name is Sandy. She's the one that does like the screens and stuff at the center. So you have basically Ray and Sandy as the regular people, and of course you got the Alphacore as like the muscle going out, like actually stopping the excepts and stuff like that. One thing I also want to mention is that a lot of action in the comic book, you know, good old-fashioned superhero except action, people throwing powers around and stuff. And there's a big part where some members of Alphacore are going after Galvin after he escapes from prison, and then some other members of Alphacore are going up against Billy Bob. So it's kind of cool how you kind of get that split up action. You got these two big fights happening at the same time at different locations and things like that. And like I said, there's a big climax where Lillian targets the actual, like the Alphacore headquarters and things, which I can't, don't want to get too much into, but it is pretty cool. And overall, I did enjoy the story. I liked the artwork and everything, very good, you know, action-packed, good artwork and stuff. It's similar to, I think the style might be a little bit different from the other Rippaverse books, the Isom ones, but it's similar enough, you know what I mean? And it is interesting, like just the action, the idea. Now, the one thing I did find just a tad repetitive is, I mean, I guess, but they would keep repeating over and over. Like, we know that Alphacore is called in only in situations where excepts are involved. I kind of felt that he kind of repeated it a little too many times. I guess we get it, we know what's going on, but I guess in a certain way it kind of fits because the police are also kind of hesitant to work with them because I guess they don't want to get in trouble either for working with them for regular cases and stuff. There's like a murder case that comes up later on, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's also like, hey, are you sure you guys, you know, should get involved? And Ingrid's like, yes, but it is a murder caused by an except, and it's sure to lead to more excepts along the way, that kind of thing. So there's that uneasiness with all these laws and regulations. And of course, one thing that is kind of interesting is we'll ever find out, like, why this happened in the past and how this kind of thing affects people like Isom and them. because like Isom's like a regular dude. Yaira was obviously causing an attack, and Alphacore was called in, and Isom number 1.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and Item number 2 has a little bit of like Alphacore reviewing their fight against Yaira and stuff. So it is interesting though. Yaira is the next book coming out, and I'm kind of curious if there'll be at least some kind of mention or something with Alphacore involved and having to the fight and stuff like that. Any other thoughts you want to bring up there?
Well, I was thinking on one little part, like at the beginning with Moreno, after the pool, it just kind of threw me a little. It seemed a little confusing because of the sequencing, but then after a while, I kind of figured it out. But there were a few grammar mistakes I noticed here and there, like when they were questioning Moreno at the station, for example. Like I don't know, maybe it was this line right here.
Oh, where's a mope like you learn to make bombs?
Where is a mope like you learns how to make bombs?
Yeah, it's more like how's or...
Where did you learn? Where do you learn? Where did a mope like you learn to make bombs?
Yeah, it does sound a bit
it's supposed to be where did, not where is. And there were another couple of areas where there was like a little grammar mistake. Like I forgot who.
But no, like miscolored trucks and stairs.
Oh no, the stairs and the trucks were fine. And there was another one where they used a subject verb agreement thing, Yeah, so what I do for a living is kind of why I would kind of pick up on some of the stuff. They were like, you have lasers, whatever, but it should have been using has instead of have, little things like that. And there was one thing that did throw me as far as art went, and I was saving this one. I just think Lillian looked weird in this panel.
Like her body's kind of twisted or something?
Yeah, I was like, her body's completely twisted up, unless that was intentional.
I'll show that in there. Yeah, it is kind of weird. But I'll probably put the picture up so you guys know what I mean. But that is kind of weird. But otherwise, overall thoughts on the story, artwork, action, characters?
Yeah, the action and artwork, the action and outside of those few little things, it was fine. But like I said, I think they should really get another editor because they really shouldn't be having any real grammar mistakes or dialogue issues unless the character is meant to speak that way. Like the other examples I came across, like I said, it was only like 2 or 3 of them. Like it wasn't like Galvin talking with his bitten tongue, which was an on-running gag. Every time you fight Galvin, he ends up biting his tongue. Oh no, I bit my tongue. Like he's like, so he's speaking off anyway. Yeah. But like other characters, like the police officer that was speaking, or the detective there, they probably using more grammatically correct English.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just minor nitpicks for me, and it just jumped out at me while I was reading.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I did enjoy the book though, and right now they got lots of stuff going down the pipeline. The next big book that's going to be shipping in a couple of weeks actually is Yaira.
Yeah.
And they actually included this thing called the Rippaverse.
Which we are getting.
Yeah, we're reviewing that separately because it's probably a lot. There's Yaira, and then the Rippaverse talks about upcoming projects, but also has like a 13-page story of a character named Salvage. So we'll see what happens there. Gooding's getting his own book.
And then later on in the year,
Bloodroof
is supposed to be coming.
Her own book too.
And I am definitely going to be on that first group of people for the pre-order time. Those pre-orders open, I'm going to be there with having my, the fried meme for Futurama, just shut up and take my money. That's going to be me.
Yep. And you also have The Horseman is going to be coming out as a random one-shot that Chuck Dixon actually pitched to July, and he said, yeah, go for it. By the way, Chuck Dixon is the person that did the story for this stuff. Basically, I guess he just asked about the characters and whatever, and July said, yeah, here are the characters, here's how they act, go nuts, and everything. And also, let me see what else. Oh, Item number 3 is apparently having 127 pages.
Oh God!
They're working on it and everything. So there's lots of stuff.
I'm sorry, that's a novel. That's a young adult. That's a young adult novel.
Yeah. So between Yaira, the Rippaverse, Item 3, the Horseman, and Goody, and Bloodgroove. There's a whole lot of shit going down with Rippaverse, so we're going to keep track of everything. And I'm pretty sure, well, with the way this one ended without spoilers, there will be an Alphacore 2.
Yeah.
And Yaira's way too popular. Is it possible they're not going to have a Yaira 2 or 3 or whatever, and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to see what else is going on. And those are basically my final thoughts on the subject there.
Yeah, and those are my, and I gave my thoughts. I thought it was, action-packed. It was pretty cool. I liked the little connection there. I like the fact that Lillian became proactive after Michael's all, I'm just playing golf right now. Everything will be fine. I sent out my henchmen. Your henchmen suck. Let me take over.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that's self-preservation. She's like, dude, we are both going to get in trouble for your mess up.
Yeah. Oh, man. So anyways, guys, this is Margaret Dream signing off here.
And this is Wendy, also known as Ninja Jupi or Jupi-chan. I'll catch you guys later for whatever next comes up. I guess it will be Yaira.
Yep. See you next time.